The El Clasico, Barcelona vs Real Madrid, one of the biggest games of the season. Y'all should know, I think La Liga is only those two clubs, so this is actually one of the more important games of that season. This fixture peaked during the Messi and Ronaldo era. It fell off after Ronaldo left Real Madrid, but it's kind of picking up again with Mbappe and Lamine Yamal. And you know what, before we get into the game today, let's go back and look at the build-up and see how both teams came to this point. Now, last season, El Clasico was a complete sweepstakes. Barca won every single game. The first El Clasico of the season at the Santiago Bernabeu, and Madrid got absolutely wiped. Like, it wasn't even a football game at this point. They got absolutely dominated. The whooping I saw that day was completely illegal. Hansi Flick needed to be arrested. Now, the first half was completely dead. All we saw was Mbappe falling for the Barca offside trap over and over and over again. And this was early season Mbappe. He was nowhere near to the levels he's playing right now. And in the second half, after 10 minutes, Lewandowski was played through and he opened the scoring to make it 1-0 to Barcelona. Then a couple minutes later, Barca went up the other end again through Balde and made it 2-0. I'm not even holding you. In 2 minutes, they conceded 2 goals by the exact same person. 24-25 Madrid were absolutely horrendous, bro. And then after a couple more Mbappe offsides, Barcelona started toying with them. Lewandowski, you scored 2 good goals. Big up to you, but what are these chances you're missing? But it didn't really matter much though, because they went up the other end again. Rafinha giving it to Lamine Yamal, and he smashed it into the top of the net. 3-0 Barcelona at the Santiago Bernabeu. And to make things worse, Rafinha went up there, and you know what? Let me just give him a little more, and scored the 4th to make it 4-0 to Barcelona, and the game ended there. 4-0 in the first Clasico of the season in a title race. What was wrong with them? This was embarrassing. One of the worst losses at the Bernabeu in a while. But the next game, it was a Supercopa de España final for Real Madrid against Barca. And it looks like Real Madrid learned a lesson, because Mbappe was through on goal and made it 1-0. They didn't even waste time either. 5 minutes in and they're already 1-0 up. But yeah, just because Madrid scored a goal doesn't mean that their defense still is an ass, because Lamine Yamal went through and equalized right after. And to make things worse, Camavinga gives away this stupid penalty, and Lewandowski converts to make it 2-1 to Barca. Did I say 2-1? Nope. Rafinha has now scored the 3rd to make it 3-1 to Barcelona. And yeah, Barca were whooping their asses again. It wasn't even funny at this point. And just before the second half kickoff, Rafinha was through on goal, giving it to Balde, who made it 4-1 to Barca before halftime. Imagine being 4-1 down to your greatest rivals before half-time. Barca were menaces this season, and Real Madrid just kept getting their asses clapped. Going into the second half though, they thought, you know what, let's just recompose. 3 goals, we're Real Madrid, we can come back. 2 minutes after the second half, Rafinha makes it 5-1. What is wrong with them? And then Szczesny decided, you know what, I don't want to play this game no more, and got himself sent off. Rodrigo made it 5-2, but the game was already lost. Madrid losing again, 5-2 Barcelona. They can't lose the next game. 4-0 and 5-2. What's the next game gonna be? 7-0? I had to get that little digging. I don't care if we're trash. I had to get the digging. And this was a Copa del Rey final. Another final these two met in. I literally told y'all, La Liga is a farmers league. These two are the only teams that exist. But it didn't matter. Barca against Madrid. What did you expect was going to happen? Barca go up and Pedri makes it 1-0 for Barcelona. But this is a different game. Madrid wasn't actually getting slapped up in this one. And then Mbappe, ending the greatest Twitter gimmick in football history, scoring a free kick, equalizing for Real Madrid. And then Tchouaméni went up the other end, making it 2-1 for Real Madrid. But yeah, y'all thought this was going to end like this? Torres equalizes for Barcelona, making it 2-2. And then at the end, Jules Koundé makes it 3-2 to Barca. And then Real Madrid decided to collect 3 red cards for completely no reason. They lost the game already. They're 3-0 against Barca this season. 3-0. Aggregate score of 12-4 to Barcelona. And going into the next game was a La Liga decider. To be fair, it was a dead rubber. Nobody cared about this game. Mbappe put Real Madrid 1-0 up through a penalty. Then he scored the second, making it 2-0 to Real Madrid. But we all knew that they were going to come back. Garcia made it 2-1. Lamine Yamal made it 2-2, Rafinha made it 3-2, and then Rafinha again made it 4-2 before halftime. Can we talk about how trash this Madrid defense has been? How do you concede 4 goals in one half after you're 2-0 up? Mbappe makes a 4-3 to complete his hat-trick, but this game was dead. Nobody really cared much about it. Barca deadass went 4-0 against Real Madrid. They won every single game against them. Aggregate score 16-7. Yeah, this is an ass whooping. I don't know what the hell Madrid are doing this season. But going into the new season, they had to make a couple signings, obviously. Dean Huijsen for Bournemouth, Carreras from Benfica, Mastantuono from River Plate, and Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. And to be fair to them, have started the season pretty well, winning 8 of their games, only losing 1 of them. Top of La Liga as well on 24 points. Barca, on the other hand, only loaned Marcus Rashford and signed Joan Garcia from Espanyol. Their start to La Liga has been pretty decent. Performance-wise, it's not been amazing, winning 7 games, drawing 1 and losing 1. 22 points, second in La Liga, which sets up this blockbuster clash. Whoever wins goes top of the league. Before we get into the game, look who's on the bench. 66. You thought you could do better than that. Bench 2025 for Valverde of all people. And this game started off with a bang, and Barca have been so cheeks, man. Look at this goal from Mbappe. What are they doing? They're lucky that bro was offside by the skin of their teeth, because this strike is outrageous. And Barca the entire game just did what they usually do. Try to do an offside trap, but this time, no, it was not gonna work. Bellingham plays this beautiful ball to Mbappe, who manages to slot and make it 1-0 to Real Madrid. Could have been 2-0 if it wasn't for that 2-0 offside, bro. They're so lucky. And Madrid were dominating. They were the better team by far. The amount of chances they had in this game. Barca went up the other side and got a scumbaggy equalizer through Fermin Lopez. Arda Güler ended up losing the ball. Rashford gets it, squares it to Fermin Lopez, who makes it 1-1 in the game. Good contest so far. This is what we need in these El Clasico games. What's Arda Güler doing, bro? Why can't you give the ball away in such a position? What's up with him? To be fair, they had some other chances. This crappy ball from freaking Fermin. But after a couple minutes, Vinny takes the ball down the left, crosses it in, hits it back to Bellingham at the back post, who scores to make it 2-1 to Real Madrid. Yeah, Barca were not showing it. What happened to Lamine Yamal, by the way? After all the talk he had before the game, even his Instagram story. What happened, Lamine? This is why I don't talk before the game. The kid thought he was Messi, bro. You are not him. But things went from bad to worse after this dumb handball. In my opinion, that's never a handball. But the referee still gave it as a penalty. Mbappe has it, and Szczesny actually saves it. Fair play to Szczesny. I didn't think he could save that. Barca huffed and puffed, but after another transition, Brahim plays the ball. Bellingham gets it, makes it 3-1 to Real Madrid. Offside. Bro, Real Madrid do anything but time their runs right. But Barca, look at them again, it's so open. They're so lucky that the high line is actually really good, and it's the only thing that's saving them from getting slapped around in these games. Vinny then got hooked for Rodrigo, who got completely pissed off. To be fair, he was one of their better attackers in the game, and I don't get why he was subbed off either.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
And then after that, Barca tried to get something out of the game. Pedri's driving the ball, and he gets himself sent off. What a stupid challenge, by the way. Heavy touch of doom. And this started this little kerfuffle between the Madrid and Barca teams. I don't know what's happening. Lamine Yamal tried acting tough at the end as well. What is up with bro? But that was it. Madrid broke their curse. They finally got their revenge on Barcelona. Game ended. Madrid 2, Barca 1. I wish I could be making fun of Madrid today, but to be fair to them, they won their game. Trent, you got away with this one, but the next game, I will be there. Hopefully I enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe button. Try to get to 10K subs. Like the video if you haven't already. And I'll see all of you next time. Have a good day, people.